Welcome to Stories of Hope. I'm Christine Hotchkiss. Each week I bring you stories that will inspire you, educate you, and give you hope. I want to thank my studio sponsor, the Motivated Mind Group, your global creative agency based right here in downtown Chandler. Today my guest is Jerry Baginski, and he is the co-founder of the nonprofit organization Co-founder Cancer Foundation. And I'm going to read his mission, and then we're going to get right into it. The mission is, our goal is to help cancer patients focus on their recovery and improve their quality of life. I like that. We believe no one should be without treatment because they can't afford it. I think anyone that knows that cancer journey could 100% agree with you. Please help me welcome my guest today, Jerry Baginski. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and so you're the co-founder, and your late wife, Dee, is the founder, as well as she wrote this book, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, called Courage Under Cancer. And it's a 31-day of hope, inspiration, and encouragement. That could be for anybody.
Yes.
But this one's specific to her journey of cancer. Mm-hmm. Please tell me a little bit about your late wife, Dee.
She was a very outgoing person, and we were married in 2007. 2018, she was diagnosed with Serius Endometrial Cancer. Okay. While she was recovering at her daughter's house after she had surgery and they removed the cancer, she said God put it on her heart, write that book. Mm-hmm. She did that first while recuperating at her daughter's. Then, once she was through with that and she came home, she approached me and said, God's tugging at me to start a foundation to help other cancer patients. We were fortunate enough when she came down with cancer that we stayed above water with our bills and everything else. We were one of the very few that were fortunate enough to be able to do that because cancer is very expensive. So when she said that we needed to do that, I said, well, we better get going and do it. So we organized our first board, and in 2019, February something, I think it was, we had our first board meeting. And everybody on the board is a volunteer. We give no money to research. And this is what she wanted. She set the rules, she set the tempo, everything for this foundation. Everybody that has been on our board has been really passionate about it too. They really like the concept, the idea that we're helping other people. Well,
and cancer, it's one word, but it has so many different diagnoses that it's not a general anymore. It's, and if I can say this and be correct, is there's cancers in animals now, which I don't remember hearing about that.
No.
Cancer in children, not just someone that's getting older or something that was hereditary. And so I think most people, if not everybody, can relate to what cancer is because they've been affected by someone personally or heard of someone that has had cancer.
Right.
What was the type of cancer again you mentioned?
Serious Endometrial. They had to remove all her female organs.
Okay.
Right. And she was in hospital for a week, and she got out, and like I said, she was at her daughter's, and her daughter was working from home, so her son-in-law is the one that said, your mom needs to come here to recover because you can be with her all day.
And so I love, because we just talked prior to this on how I started my show, and it's kind of similar. I didn't have an illness, but I had something traumatic happen in my life that took me away from my life, that I decided that I needed something for myself to heal, which is going to be an ongoing journey for any of us that have had something happen to us, whatever it may be. And then again, I heard that voice while I was doing the healing part, and I also did write my story in a book that said, you're going to do this. And I was like, I'm not sure what that is. So when you said that, I was like, I can relate to that. So with that being said, this book, and if I may, Courage Under Cancer, again, it's 31 days of hope, inspiration, and encouragement. What I liked about this prior to us starting this recording is that the table of contents, each day of the 31 days has something of a different name, a title. Like for instance, so day 1 is cancer. We've got day 8 is chemo. We've got day 23 is rejoice. Day 24 is hope. And then day 31 is the finale. So there's a lot of different ones here. And I want to read right here where it says, note from the author. My cancer journey started February 21st, 2018. I thought I had a bladder infection and quickly learned after a biopsy that I had tested positive for cancer. Devastated and scared, I turned to the one who could give me grace and peace, who's God. Then she goes on to having the surgery, as you mentioned,
Right.
and the challenges of understanding that something that you didn't think was going to happen to you now has changed your life, and you don't know permanently for how long, if you're going to go in remission.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where I want to ask you, because you were a part of that journey, what was your part in this, knowing that she was going through this? And you also mentioned she was not with you recovering, she was with her daughter.
It was hard trying to take care of her. I was working part-time at Walmart, plus I was working there at the gate. She had been working and had to quit, so she was home during the day. So there was times that she would call me and I would have to come home because she was so sick. Mm-hmm. It's real rough on the person that has the disease, mm-hmm. but it's almost as rough on the caretaker.
I agree with you.
There's times when, I would have to help her up into the bathroom, help her back up off the toilet, walk her over to her chair. And she just, it was really, really hard to watch her go downhill like that. We were only together 15 years.
You could have been together for a year and it
Right.
still would have had the same effect on you as well as everyone else.
But yeah, it's really rough to watch somebody go through this. Mm-hmm. It was just her and I, and then her daughter was there, and her daughter would talk to me and ask if there's anything she could do to help me, and it was. But yeah, it's a devastating thing, and I don't wish it on anybody.
No, and so I'm going to assume that she had to go through treatments?
Yes, her first treatment, she did 6 rounds of chemo 3 weeks apart. And at the end, they took a scan and they said, hey, everything's looking good. We're just going to start doing the 3 months, come in, get a scan, and we're going to keep an eye on things. So she was doing that. And after 13 months, they seen a little bitty spot. They didn't like it, so they started on another chemo. Well, she had a reaction to that. Mm. So they took her off of that, waited a few months, then she took some more chemo for another 12, 13 months, and chemo quit responding.
Oh.
And so on November 11th of 22, I took her to the hospital because she was just bloated. She couldn't go to the bathroom. She had no energy, she was in a wheelchair for the last 6 months.
She was that weak and wasn't
yes,
able to?
She was that weak.
Okay.
I would help her into the car and we'd get somewhere and I had to get the wheelchair out, put her in the wheelchair. And it was like that. And so when I took her to the hospital on November 11th, they admitted her. They were doing different tests and everything. She spent 11 days there. And that's when they had told her, they said, well, there's nothing else we can do for you. The cancer's just going. She goes, I'm tired of fighting anyway. She goes, I just want to go home and be with Jesus now.
I've heard a lot of people that get frustrated with mm-hmm. the journey of the treatments, that it's very tiresome, exhausting, and not to mention the emotional drain, not just the physical and the chemicals that are going through your body to fight something that we're not certain of. Because you do know that there are people that, we've heard the story that people have become, they go into remission, and that's a great thing too. So to go back on to the founding of the organization, where was it that the vision was seen to have the mission that it has?
In talking with the board, Dee knew that she wanted to help people financially because, like I said, we were fortunate enough. Mm-hmm. So she said, I want to be able to help people pay their bills. Mm. Her big goal when we first started this she told everybody, she goes, I would like someday that this foundation can take a cancer patient and say, look, for the next 4 months, you worry about getting well, we're paying all your bills. You don't even worry about them. They're covered over here. You just concentrate on getting better. Cancer thrives on stress. Bills stress you out big
Yes,
time.
they do.
So if we can take the stress off of somebody just that much, they can get that much healing.
I like that.
And so that was her big thing. That
So the next question would be people that find you, knowing what your mission is, how do they qualify?
very easily. You go to our website, go to the donation, ask for assistance page, show us that you have cancer, that you're under treatment, you live in the United States, we'll give you money, we will pay your bills.
Now,
Quick and easy.
do you have a certain, and I say this because I have my own organizations, and there's a set amount of money that I can give, not for every single thing that comes across someone's needs. Like you said, cancer's expensive.
Yes.
And so from all the people I've sat down with or the things that I've heard, these are things that could also be exhausting
Yes.
on many levels.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a certain amount that you will pay up to?
Right now, we're paying $1,500.
Perfect.
We just, when we first started out, it was a $1,000 one-time deal. We just voted a couple months ago, the board, that we raised it to $1,500, and after 12 months, if you're still fighting, you reapply and we'll help you some more.
Wow.
So that's the way it is right now, and it's like I said, it's very easy to do it. Go to courageundercancer.org, go to the Need Assistance page, you fill it out, and we always tell people, make sure you give us $1,500 in bills. We don't want to pay just $1,000. You know, we're giving you, we're
Maxing it at the 15, max it out.
and we pay it directly to your mortgage company, your car payment, whoever it might be, your utilities, your phone. We don't care what it is. You need your car repaired so you can get back and forth to treatment. Hey, we'll take care of that bill for you.
Wow.
Give us the bills to pay. That's all we ask.
Wow, I didn't think about the and we do know transportation is always an issue,
Right.
but I don't think a lot of people realize that if you don't have your transportation, you can't go get your treatment. And then it becomes another burden on you.
Right.
I've heard other people say, dial a ride or whatever the other entities are as far as transportation go. There's a wait list or they're not on the schedule that you need them
Right.
to be to go to a doctor's office.
True, yeah.
Oh, that's great to know.
And we've had a couple people that they don't have bills. You know, they've got their rent and their phone bill. So one lady, she goes, I have no bills. All I have is my rent. And they said, okay. This was when we were doing $1,000. They found out how much her rent was. We paid her rent for the next 3 months for her in advance.
So we've established the maximum, so keep that in mind. That is a wonderful, generous offer. And then the other part is there an age that you have to be that's going through cancer? Is it specific?
No. You could be an infant. You could be 100 years old. We don't care.
Who are some of your, and this may not be the right question to ask, but you're welcome to answer it if you want to. Who are some of your donors that allow you to have this, or are you doing fundraising?
We do fundraising.
Okay.
We've had some people that have just heard about us and they've sent in donations, but most of it has been through fundraising. We've done 2 fashion shows, November of last year and then November of 21. We held them at Robert Horn Ford out in Apache Junction. They turned over their showroom to us. They emptied it out on a Sunday morning. We went in, we set up, we had our fashion show that evening. Those 2 shows, we raised a little over $40,000 each time.
Wow.
And Robert Horn Ford not only gives us the space to do it, they give us a $1,500 check each time too.
I like that.
And they are they're behind it, and they've told us, and we've asked them about it, that, hey, when we get bigger and we have to move on, they said, don't worry, we'll be there with you. We like what you're doing, and it's a great cause, so we're proud to be there with you guys.
Those are the donors
So,
you want
right.
that have a
Yeah.
heart. Not that there isn't any smaller ones in donors, but the ones that say, you fear, hey, what if we get bigger? we're still behind you 100%. I like that. So good for them.
And we're looking for sponsors. Anybody? We're starting our planning for our next fashion show in November. As we get things, it'll be on our website. You can check the website, or try and get a hold of us and tell us we're gonna need sponsorship for the fashion show. We're gonna need gift baskets, silent auction items. We do a balloon pop, which is very popular.
What's that?
We go out and we get gift cards from different areas, different places. You pay $10, you get a balloon, it's got a number in it. You pop that balloon, you take your number over, and you win a minimum of a $10 prize.
Oh, that's great.
We've had both years, we've had $100 gift certificates from a few different restaurants. We've had just $10 gift cards in there.
That's great.
That is our very popular one. The other thing we do, and everybody likes this one, it goes quick. We do a board just like they do for football pools, but we just number it 1 through 100. You go over and you pay $20, you pick the square you want, put your name there. We have a gift basket with $1,000 worth of scratcher tickets in it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would go quite fast.
Right,
I'll agree.
yeah. A lot of people like, ooh, $1,000 worth of tickets. There could be some good money in there to win.
I think I know what event I'll be going to in November.
Yeah. But yeah, we're planning this now, and so if there's anybody out there that wants to be a sponsor, wants to give us donations for our gift baskets, whatever, go to courageundercancer.org, and we'll have updates on there as we get it planned.
So you used the word update. Now I have to go into another type of question.
Okay.
Do you get to meet any, if at all, these individuals that you grant these funds?
We've met 2 back when we first got started. We met a lady that had cancer, and she wanted to meet us, and we met up with her, and we had to talk for a while. And then we met one other gentleman. But we've helped people throughout the United States. We're not just local.
Good to know.
That's the thing. So anybody out there that knows of somebody, and 9 out of 10 people are affected by somebody with cancer, whether it's a family member or just a close friend or whatever. But 9 out of 10 people are affected. So if you know somebody that needs some assistance, courageundercancer.org. Go to the donation page or assistance page. You can fill it out for somebody else if you want.
So here's another question. So I asked if you meet them, give me a success story.
Oh, let's see. What was one of our success stories?
Or maybe someone that reached out to you and said how grateful they were.
The very first fundraiser we did it at Los Gringos restaurant in Apache Junction. And this was right in the middle of COVID. We did a bachelor auction.
A bachelor auction?
Bachelor auction. We had 5 guys from the Apache Junction area that were single. They were our bachelors. We auctioned them off. And we raised a little over $5,000, $6,000 that night. But the guy that owns the place, Glenn, his sister was in California. She had cancer, and she was having a little bit of a rough time. And so we reached out. He reached out and told her, look, they're willing to help. Let's do this. We helped her out, and it really lifted her spirits from that point on in fighting her cancer. And she's doing good today.
Would you agree when you know that someone is backing you up, you feel a sense of belonging and loved, even by someone you may not even know, but you know that they believed in your healing or your mission or your...
Oh, yeah. It's very gratifying to help people, when you can help somebody like this, financially, that's, it feels good. It makes you feel really good.
I do a lot of volunteering, probably more than that's on my calendar and my watch, but it makes me feel good because I don't know if I'm going to need that someday. Like in 2020, you just talked about how it was the most difficult time for everyone. I'm not going to say some, I'm going to say everyone because it was a different time in our lives. and you're still trying to find a way to relieve that burden
Right.
by doing stuff still that also brings people together with the limitations. And it feels good to know that even though that stuff was going on and we're already sick, we'll say, and that's like taking extra on you, that there was hope being given through other people.
Right. Yeah. You know, we've helped a couple of children or families with kids going through cancer.
That's
We've
unfortunate.
helped a few of them.
Okay.
You know, all the kids are going through it. You know, like I said, we don't have an age limit.
Okay.
You know, cancer doesn't discriminate, so we're not discriminating.
No, it does not.
So Courage Under Cancer is not going to
No.
discriminate either.
Where did she, do you know the reason why she chose that?
Her son-in-law actually came up with that.
Okay.
We were throwing things around, and we had something with the courage and cancer part. And her son-in-law said, Courage Under Cancer. And she, why not? It works.
It does.
And that's, you know,
Is this book still able to be found?
Amazon.
Okay.
It can be found on Amazon. And I think it's just, I don't know if she ever got it set up where it was an audio or not on Amazon. I don't remember.
Before I ask my final question, because I had already gone through the book and saw each day that was labeled, but because I have this choice of words, which is hope.
Right.
Day 24, which is how I feel too, and this was her definition of hope. And hope is something that's different with everybody, as any word. It's their interpretation of where they're at within their lives. The very definition of hope is expectation. What are you expecting to happen on this journey? My expectation was for a total and complete healing. And I think that's why that one hits me the most, is because there is that, I don't want this to feel like it is anymore, and that I'm going to heal from it, whatever that journey is.
Her favorite one in there was determination.
Let me look it up.
It was hers. I think it was day 8.
Day 6.
Day 6.
And then I'll ask my final question. Let's see what we got here. So she's on each of these pages, and on the top, there is a verse from the Bible.
Right.
And she talks about NASCAR. Love NASCAR, so I like that
we're
was
big
there.
NASCAR fans.
Oh, you are? Yeah, I am
And that's
too.
why that one was her favorite.
So she has 2 here, but the one that just hit me in the face right now with determination on day 6 is stand firm and you will win life. And that's Luke 21:19. Now, I don't know the Bible like that,
Right.
but this one definitely hits me, and I like that.
But she liked that one because Kyle Busch was her driver. And in the very first race of the year, he had a bad accident, broke both one leg and the foot on the opposite foot. You know, he was out for 11 weeks. Came back, they gave him a waiver, and he fought, and he ended up winning the championship that year. So, like
Very
she would say,
appropriate.
that's the fire in your gut,
Yes.
determination.
Follow your intuition,
Right.
Totally get it, determination. So I have this final question, but it's not related to the foundation. But before I ask that final question, is there anything that I did not ask or that you want to share to make sure that,
I think we about covered it.
Okay.
Her book and what the foundation is about and what we do, and you know, we're looking for help, volunteers even when we do our events. So.
and they can inquire on the page, on the
Yep, all they have to do is go
website
to our
that's been
website.
given?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And you can even email is
it here on your card?
yeah, it's on the card. Email. I don't know it because I don't use it.
So the email address is cucf, the word nonprofit, @gmail.com.
Right.
And the website again is courageundercancer.org.
Right. But yeah, anybody have questions, they can email it. And our board president and one other member of the board, they're the ones that keep a close eye to the emails.
Okay.
They do that, and they answer any questions that people might have if they email us something.
Sounds like a good plan. So this final question I have is completely unrelated to the topic of conversation we've had.
Okay.
If I was only given one question to ask someone to know about who they are, it would be this question. what message would you like to leave everyone based on your journey of life?
Man, that's tough. Just stay true to your heart. Follow your gut, and take care of your friends and your family, and do the best you can.
Doing the best we can, I think, is all we ever can do, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody tells you, well, you have a good one. I tell them, I'm going to give it my bestest and see where it takes me.
I like that response. When people say, have a good day, I said, was there an option?
Right? That's a good one, too. I like that.
Only because of my walk of life, there are reasons why we could say I'm not interested in hearing what you have to say to give me, a boost of having a good day or having a good life or whatever. That we can't all have a happy day all day long. It doesn't work that way. But it is a choice to make it our best day.
Yes.
Under whatever circumstances that we're on. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being my guest, sharing the legacy of your wife, Dee Baginski, and the book, Courage Under Cancer, 31 Days of Hope, Inspiration, and Encouragement. I want to thank my studio sponsor, the Motivated Mind Group, your global creative agency based right here in downtown Chandler. If you have a story you want to share that will help someone on their journey, please email me to the address of stories@christinehotchkiss.com. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, you may also email me to the address of stories@christinehotchkiss.com. Until next time, everyone, I wish you well, and you take care.